2019, what a crazy year it has been. Full of drama, good and bad. And being the pachik bawang that I am, I love talking about drama. And here's how I'm gonna do it. I've created a naughty list and a nice list as sort of a recap to 2019's most important, most controversial happenings. So strap yourselves in. But before we get started, at the end of the video, there'll be something special for you, so stay tuned and find out what it is. Alright, so just to explain, on the naughty list are things that I think were pretty bad for the tech industry and things that we don't really want to see happen again. And on the nice list are things that are cool and things that will carry well into 2020. So let's start with our first topic. Let's start off with something a little spicy from my naughty list. And at the top of my naughty list is the Huawei Trade Ban. Of course, your favorite American president, Donald Trump, decided that Huawei was spying on them, and naturally he decided to ban them from doing business with other American companies, including Google, meaning you don't get Google apps, you don't get chipsets from America, you don't get anything from America. Since then, Donald Trump has allowed companies to get licenses to continue working with Huawei, but not Google. There hasn't been any reports that Google had applied for the license, so no Google apps like Gmail and Maps for Huawei's newest devices, such as the Mate 30 series. But to counter that, Huawei has developed their own Huawei mobile services, and to date, there has been a vast selection of familiar apps that you can already get from there. So I guess the Play Store isn't too necessary unless you rely heavily on Google Apps. Also, in retaliation, Huawei won't be using any American components in their smartphones, such as the Mate 30 series and the Y9 Prime. The components that they will be using will either be made in-house or from other countries like the Netherlands. If anything, that tells us that Huawei is riding the wave quite well. They are riding it out. And 2020 will be very interesting if Donald Trump doesn't, change his mind about the whole situation. And we will see slightly different devices that perform differently because they're using different components. I put this in a naughty list because this sort of things shouldn't be happening. Governments shouldn't be banning brands like Huawei from doing business because Huawei wants to get the best parts from the best creators, the best manufacturers, and limiting them means limiting the quality of your products, which in turn is bad for us consumers. So yeah, let's see what 2020 brings for Huawei. Next, let's move to something a little light-hearted in my nice list. And at the top of my nice list is the 5G development and deployment in the country. And just recently, we have our first commercially available 5G smartphone in the Vivo Nex 3. Plus, if you're thinking of how to use it and when to use it, we should be getting a mass rollout of 5G networks across the nation next year. Celcom has also worked with Maxis to share their infrastructure, two of the country's top telcos working together to bring you 5G connectivity. Plus, TM has launched their own 5G network, standalone 5G network in Langkawi. Standalone meaning they don't rely on existing infrastructures. So what that is telling us is that the big names in the telco industry in the country are well prepared for the mass rollout of 5G next year. Even though it's coming out only next year, things are beginning to start rolling this year, which I am very excited about. We will see what the new standard of connectivity brings for us next year: faster download speeds, faster upload speeds. Can't wait. To balance things out, let's go back to our naughty list. And the second thing on our list is Samsung Galaxy Folds fail. So the hype was real. It was very real when Samsung announced their foldable smartphone because it seemed like the real deal. When the device was complete, they sent out review units to reviewers who promptly tested out the phone and found many flaws that broke the phone straight away. This is on the naughty list because it got us excited for almost no reason whatsoever. We knew it would be expensive, and with that kind of price, you'd expect the devices to be well built. Sadly, Samsung did not deliver, but credit where credit is due. Samsung has acknowledged the issues and have gone on to do a bit of tinkering, and they say that the current Galaxy Fold, the new Galaxy Fold, is foolproof. It's break-proof. It doesn't break like it used to. And when it was available for pre-order in Malaysia, it sold out within the first day itself, pre-orders that is. And that tells us one thing, that Malaysians, one, have money, two, really love gimmicky stuff like this, including myself. And that gets me really excited because we will be seeing arguably the earliest forms of foldable smartphones next year being used in a more mainstream fashion. So again, I'm putting this in a naughty list because Samsung oversold what they could do. So we're hoping Samsung doesn't do this again next year and maybe they'll learn a lesson. Now moving back to our nice list, next thing on the agenda is Instagram hiding likes. Yes, now depending on how good looking you are, this may be good for you or bad for you. For me, it's fantastic. I love this because it sort of brings back Instagram to its roots, which was to just share photos without the pressure of getting likes and all that. The feature has been tested out in several countries such as Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and even US. And Facebook, the owners of Instagram, claim that this will allow you, or at least convince you, to post even more because you don't get that pressure or that sinking feeling of not getting enough likes from your post prior. So if you don't see numbers, you tend to post more because you don't care what people think. And that translates, to me at least, a healthier environment, a healthier community in the very popular social media. And I think that is a good thing. And that deserves its place in the nice list. Can't wait for it to roll out to Malaysia because, I don't know, I don't like influencers. Alright, so moving to the last thing on my naughty list, because I don't want to be too negative, is the oversaturation of smartphones. Yes, I feel this deeply as a tech writer. You as a consumer, maybe not so much, but I am very tired of seeing phones being launched just a couple of months in between. It's gotten to a point where it's quite ridiculous. It's not a 2019 phenomenon. It's been happening for the past couple of years, maybe even longer. You have brands launching phones just a couple of months in between. Like you get the Reno early this year, and just several months after, you get the Reno 2. And Vivo has the Y series, right? In the Y series, you have four phones in the Y series that has been launched all within 2019. And then you take into account the S series, the V series, and even the next. That is a lot of smartphones being launched in a single year. Sure, now those phones are really good phones. They're most of the phones at least. But I'm thinking if they're necessary or not. Because the four phones from the Y series are not that much different from each other. They're priced not that much differently from each other either. So it makes me question why brands like this launch so many phones in such a short period of time. Now, this brings me to 2020, where I hope that brands will start to have a more focused, more well-curated list of devices to show to their customers. Because honestly, I don't think you want to sift through pages after pages of specs that don't look all that different and prices that don't look all that different and then make a decision as to which one you want. I know I don't. So yeah. Now in this season of happiness, I'm gonna try not to be so much of a Scrooge, so I'm gonna end this with something positive. And the last thing on my nice list is Malaysian roads going cashless. Yes, this is not technically tech, but I still think it's an important development in our country. Now, Malaysian roads are technically already cashless thanks to Touch and Go. You have features like the RFID, Pay Direct, Smart Tag, and more. And to make the roads completely cashless, there will be no more cash top-ups at toll booths, meaning you have to reload your cards beforehand. And that's a good thing. People shouldn't be so lazy. Just remember to top up your cards. The facilities are everywhere. You go to your petrol stations, you go to your kiosks, and you go to your convenience stores. Or you can go to your train stations. These places offer top-ups. Sure, at a surcharge, but Touch and Go has gone on to say that they will be eliminating the surcharge, 50 cents or 10% if you are parking, from their contracts in the future starting next year. So to fully embrace going cashless, there will be more RFID toll booths in the coming year. You can still use Touch and Go, you can still use Pay Direct, you can still use Smart Tag, and next year we will have more RFID, which will deduct money from your e-wallet. You don't have to step out of your car to top up your e-wallet, okay? So lazy people out there, stop complaining. Just top up your cards beforehand. So many facilities, please don't clog up the lanes, please. We're at the end of the video, but we are far from done because there is one last thing on my nice list. That is you guys, our viewers. And to thank you for your constant support throughout the year, we'll be doing a giveaway. Now, to enter the giveaway, look at our description down below where we will tell you how to join and how to win. Now, if you'd like to see more videos like this, do let us know down in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up and remember to subscribe. This is Victor signing off. Bye-bye.